Welcome to Drinks to the Side of Gossip. I'm George Odo.
And I'm Miss Lee Lovely.
Oh my gosh. It is Monday again, y'all. I would say we give Monday a round of applause, but you know what? Fuck Monday.
Right? Mondays.
And look at that. The song isn't even done playing and I'm already cussing.
Already.
It's just going to be that kind of day.
Edit, cut. Take that part out.
I had to bleep
delete
that part out.
Delete it.
And we are on video again this week. We did video on Friday. And so people who are watching us, we're wearing the same outfits because we recorded the episodes on the same day.
Yes.
And that's the magic of the way this show works.
That's right.
That's the way this show works. And so, yeah.
We're not those going on Friday with the outfit and party hard all weekend.
No.
Just to wake up and do our Monday podcast.
No. I know us better.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to do them both.
Yeah.
We're going to do them both.
Maybe 20.
Maybe another one.
2-ish years ago we could have pulled that off.
Oh, 20 years ago?
Yeah. Maybe even 10.
You know what?
Maybe
even
even
10 years ago. When I was in radio, I used to go out on Friday nights with my radio friends. And we would go to like whatever concert we were having that night. And then I would go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to have the trash can pulled up right in front of me, right under my mic, because hearing myself in my headphones, the vibrations would make me so sick.
Really?
As soon as I turned my mic off, I'd be like,
we were crazy.
Back in our younger days.
To be able to, because I used to manage a store. I was a front end manager of a store for a while.
Were you? So was I.
And in charge of all the money and the tills and, all that kind of stuff.
Me too.
And I mean, I would sometimes go and work and a no sleep because, it's a Saturday. I had to go in that Saturday. But man, Friday was the party of all parties. And that's because I was up all day because I had to work. And I had to close just to have my friends waiting out in the parking lot. We're going.
My first grown-up job was Walmart.
Really?
I started off as a cashier, and I moved up to customer service manager in less than a year.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was my first
we could do it
adult job.
Like very, very first job?
No, my very first job was 16 years old at the McDonald's in the hood.
When it first opened, that's right. Because they were doing the training there, and we all went to. That was my first job too, but they had moved me to the McDonald's on 50th for the training, and I just stayed there.
For the training, I was at the McDonald's by the car dealership, Gene Messer. I was over there, and then when this one opened in the hood, they moved me over there.
Wow. How long were you there?
Not very long because when my grandmother passed away right before the store opened, and so I needed the day off to go to her funeral. My store manager told me I could not go to my...
Oh, no.
So my mom and my Uncle Robert, shout out to my Uncle Robert, he listens to the show, went to the store and they're like, oh, he's going.
Yeah.
And
how could he be denied?
Exactly.
Oh, that is insane.
Exactly, yeah. So my mom and Uncle Robert went to the store and told, oh, he's going.
Oh, and I can just see it too.
And you know mom.
Oh yeah.
And my Uncle Robert is very defensive of us. And so he was like, that's our grand opening. If he's not here, he doesn't have a job. Yeah. His name was Abel. I'll never forget that.
Screw the grand opening.
And my
Take
mom
this
said,
stupid McDonald's visor and
my mom
it.
told him then he's not coming back because he's not missing his grandmother's funeral.
That is insane. Wow.
Yeah, so I remember that, and so I worked there for a couple of weeks before like when they did their soft open, but then I missed like the big grand opening because yeah.
I hope he's always remembered that.
I think he's dead.
Oh, okay.
I think he died.
Oh, goodness.
I think he died, so I don't know.
God rest his soul.
No.
I was fixing to go off on Abel.
You know what? My grandma probably went off on him if he died.
He probably did.
Yeah.
She was probably waiting for him.
You know my grandma Paula. she was not the kind to play
No,
to
she
play
wasn't.
with.
She was waiting for Abel.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
definitely waiting for Abel.
She
But
was.
let's take our shot. This shot, I'm not looking forward to this shot.
Yeah, and it's given me a very let me make it bougie.
Oh yeah, make it blink
For-
for the video
Yes.
viewers. So right before we started recording, we were talking to the video viewers. If you're not watching this show, you're missing out on
Yes.
behind the scenes stuff.
Uh,
We talked about this, and I'm looking at it. You didn't move the camera over enough.
Oh, you know what? Why don't you just scoot your chair?
We described it as cummy.
Yeah, I mean that's the better
That's
word
the
for
best one because
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, look at it. It's like this whitish.
But it doesn't look. It's not like milky. It's not. Yeah.
It's not. And then I took my fingers off the cup and I'm like, oh, it's sticky. So I'm like, it's cummy. It's cummy.
So, I mean,
it's the best way to
So
describe
bus
it.
balls, eggnog, very cummy.
Here we go. Pa arriba, pa abajo, pa el centro, pa
Here
adentro.
we go. Swallow. Shit.
That was surprisingly festive.
That was actually pretty good.
I did not hate that like I
Not
thought I
at
was
all.
going to.
And it has. I taste cinnamon
Mhm.
like really strong.
Mhm.
It's like really good.
It has.
Don't you wish that it tastes actually? Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
You know what? The stuff that we were gonna say, we should have taken this shot during the Friday show
Oh yeah.
so that we could have said those things.
Yes.
What we're thinking is not for the
It's not
Monday
appropriate.
show.
Yes, it's not
It's
appropriate.
Friday show stuff.
That's right.
But
But yeah, anybody,
Yeah, it
buzz
was-
balls, chillers, the eggnog.
the
hey,
eggnog was really good.
Yeah, not too shabs.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about, because we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. I feel like it's coming up really fast. It's on the 28th
Yeah.
this
and,
year, so it's next week.
Yeah.
It'll be next week. Food portions.
There's no such thing as food portions in Thanksgiving dinner.
You don't think so?
Oh no.
So what if you have like a lot of people? Is that not? Is not okay?
Yeah.
Because my mom makes dressing for our Thanksgiving dinner every year.
Uh-huh.
Do you need to make a noise?
No.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make a noise.
Go ahead.
So my mom makes Thanksgiving a dressing every year.
Mhm.
Do you call it stuffing or dressing?
We say stuffing.
Do you stuff it in the turkey's butthole?
And actually we don't.
Then it's dressing.
And that's why I have an issue with the whole portion thing.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, regardless of who's invited and who's coming over, we make so much that, I mean,
Mom-
your plate could be overflowing.
Mom does too, but I really like the dressing, so I am so protective of it.
Are you serious?
To the point where I was telling Evie, I'm gonna buy those segmented plates so that people can just get that
what fits
much.
in,
What fits in the little segment.
Then why don't you just get your own little container once it's ready? Scoop it all in there and put it aside for yourself.
That's what Mary said too.
Yeah.
That's what Mary said too. We were talking about it, and Mary was like, "Why don't you just tell your mom to save you some?" And I'm like, "No, I am like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm buying segmented plates. I found them on Amazon already, and I'm going to limit how much dressing people get, and I'm going to limit take-home plates."
So does your Thanksgiving change every year? Is it like different family, or one year it's with this family and the next, or is it always the same?
Every year it's me, mom, sisters, her kids, and Mary.
Wow.
Because Mary's family lives far away.
Yeah.
So she goes with us.
It's never changed with us either.
No.
It's always just the family, immediate family.
Yeah.
Every now and then there's been people who've come over or, whatever, but we've always cooked for all of, but it's always been so huge thing in my family. Because that was my dad's favorite holiday.
Was
Was
it?
Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah. And it's never changed. Like, growing up, every single year the night before, were all in there prepping everything and getting
That's how
ready.
Mom is.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the point where we don't. Okay, so if you hear my chair farting, it's not me, and it may not be Lee. My chair farts a lot. See if you guys can hear it.
A little bit, but yeah. I think you're just
wait, because I'm against the wall. Okay.
Funny how it's not farting now.
Wait.
Oh,
see,
okay.
Because I don't want people thinking it's just us passing gas
right, like old
on this show. Yeah, it's not. We're not just farting away. It's this chair. I don't know why this chair does that. Did I set a timer?
I don't know.
I don't feel like I
but
did.
on Thanksgiving, it's always been all my family, my kids, my mom, Joseph, and my brother, and my sister, and the kids, and that's pretty much, you know,
that's us
everybody.
Too. That's us too.
My dad.
I always tell Mary she's like the older sister I never had because I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
You know, so she's like my older sister.
But yeah, we would get up. My dad would be up early checking the turkey because he put it in that night before, and we'd all get up all before noon, put on our Cowboys gear, die-hard Cowboys fans through the family. That's how we grew up. Ate and got ready to watch the game, and that's just how it's always been that way. It's always stayed that way.
So, have you ever had fried turkey?
Yes. My dad actually did fry. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Mr. Joel had to have made a fried turkey.
Oh yeah, you know
sometime.
he did. Yeah.
I've had it once before. It really is as good as people say it is.
It really is.
It's you have to really know how to do it.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll set your house and your neighborhood on fire.
And I'm sorry, but I think some of those videos are hilarious.
I do too.
Oh, they're.
I feel bad for laughing at them because
I know.
You know, I'm like, okay, your house is on fire
Yeah.
now. But I'm just like, you had to have known that was going to happen. You had to have known.
Once it became a thing and be popular, of course, my dad went out and bought all the things that he needed. And we had that turkey. And it was I liked it. It was really good.
I love fried turkey, but we order our turkey. We used to make everything. Now the only thing that we make are the desserts and the dressing.
Really?
Mary makes green bean casserole.
That's what I make.
Mom makes the dressing and some pies. Evie makes mashed potatoes and the other sides. And then Mom makes also fruit salad. And I even make a pie.
What?
I sure do.
Wow.
I make
homemade?
Y'all, I make a Nutella cheesecake.
Oh. How come I've never known about this?
Oh, I discovered this last year. I found it on Pinterest. And so
is it good?
Oh, so good. So good that Evie asked me to make 2 this year.
Ooh.
Because
you're gonna have to save me some.
It didn't last year. Not everybody got a piece.
And cheesecake is so good. I don't see how there are actual people out there that think cheesecake is disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it because I love any kind of cheesecake.
Yes.
I don't give a damn.
Do you have a favorite?
A favorite cheesecake?
I have a favorite like to be made homemade or whatever, and then I have my favorite Cheesecake Factory cheesecake.
Okay. So my favorite cheesecake at home is like a chocolate cheesecake. Like on an Oreo crust.
I gotcha.
And a chocolate cheesecake.
Mine is a banana blueberry cheesecake. Homemade. Oh, so good.
That sounds really good.
I mean...
Although that Nutella cheesecake I made last year was really good, y'all. I'm going to make it again this year. And I may do a little video for our social medias.
Man.
Showing how I make it. Because
I don't... can show a video of showing me how I'm going to eat it.
I don't make it like homemade as far as like, you know, eggs and shit like that. I use the no-bake. Yeah. The no-bake cheesecake. Yeah. The no-bake cheesecake and stuff like that. And it comes out, you know, just fine. Yeah. And it's so good.
I'm going to have to try it. So what's your favorite cheesecake factory?
My favorite Cheesecake Factory cheesecake is either the red velvet or I think it's the red velvet.
Because you've tried all of them, right?
I have. I've tried a lot of them, but I tend to stick to the stuff that I like. So I don't try like the random stuff. But I'm a big fan of red velvet anyway.
I got you.
And so I like the red velvet.
Well, their cheesecakes are to die for anyway.
They really are.
But you should know by all the talk that I make what would be my favorite Cheesecake Factory cheesecake. And that would be the banana cheesecake. So good.
I love bananas.
That's my favorite fruit.
Yeah, mine too.
And their banana, screw all the Snickers and the all the fancy stuff. The banana cheesecake from there is so good. And I ask for extra bananas because it's to die for. I love it.
So I just got a message.
Second would be the caramel apple cheesecake.
I just got a message from my cousin Samantha. And Samantha is one of our biggest fans.
Yes.
She listens every week. She watches the videos and then listens to the podcast.
We love you, Samantha.
She's been our drink sponsor before. Yes. I've got a great story about Samantha to tell later in the show, but I'm sending her a video on Snapchat right now. So I just want to wave at her real quick. And, ew, did you burp?
I didn't mean to. That's why I tried to do it like, here, let me change this. I can't make it up. I'm sorry, Samantha. I didn't mean to.
But, yeah, so I will make a cheesecake this year. But is there a favorite side you have?
Man, I mean, come on. Look at me. My plate, sometimes I need to. We just, But as far as like Thanksgiving side, man, it would have to be the stuffing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine. That's mine too. Be. My mom does it so, like, okay, so I don't like vegetables in my food. Like, okay, that sounds weird because I love vegetables.
Yes.
But like, I don't like onions cooked because I don't like them to be mushy.
Okay.
And I don't like bell peppers, period.
Oh, okay.
So do you know what my mom does when she makes dressing? What? She purees them.
Yeah.
In the blender so that it has the flavor.
Yes.
But there's no crunch.
Yeah, and I don't...
And see, people say it's a crunch. It's not a crunch.
No, it's not.
Cooked onions and cooked bell pepper is not crunchy.
See, and that's weird that you say bell pepper because we've never... Like, oh my God, my mom's stuffing is just so the best. And my sister, she's perfect.
I have to say, you're irritating me calling it stuffing.
I'm sorry, dressing.
Stuffing to me has always been...
Because we don't stuff the turkey.
It's always stuffed in the turkey's butthole. And if it's not, then it's dressing.
Okay. Well, when because you say it like that,
you dress the,
we dress it.
The plate.
And see, we don't even dress that. I mean, we make such big. So we always have 2 turkeys. We have 2 hams. We have the big, aluminum trays, like the big ones of the green bean casserole and the candied yams and all. I mean, they're just food for days. Food for days.
Totally off the subject.
But anywho.
British people say aluminium instead of aluminum.
Who?
They say aluminium.
Really?
Instead of aluminum, and they think they're right. And I know we have aluminium.
Aluminium.
Yeah, and I know we have a lot of British listeners.
It's aluminum.
Do you think you're right? Or
because I think you're
wrong. Because I feel like we're right.
No, we're right.
And it's aluminum.
It's aluminum.
Just the thought.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there.
Unless you're from the South and you say tin. Tinfoil.
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 But I will never agree with aluminium, and we will have another war for that.
I was about to say that almost sounds something you would need to, make a bomb or something. That doesn't even sound like
I'm telling you, I'm willing to have Revolutionary War 2 with these people. Our closest allies and our friends. They speak the same language that we do, except with a weird accent. They think we're the ones with the accent. Y'all are the ones with the accent.
Can you speak with the accent?
Me?
No.
I do such a terrible British accent. It always ends up sounding like Australian.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not even close.
Do your British accent.
Oh gosh, see, now you put me on the spot. Now I'm thinking. See.
Like. Every time I think of a British accent, I just think of Mrs. Doubtfire going, "Hello."
Oh my god.
That's the only thing I can think of in a British accent.
Okay. Well, we're not going to attempt it. Oh my god. But it's aluminum.
It's aluminum.
Yes.
It's not aluminium. I will fight you. We will have
that isn't
Revolutionary War II. Get ready, folks.
Get ready.
It's coming.
Oh gosh.
It's coming. But it's time for us to take a really quick break. Stay with us. You are listening to, and hopefully you're watching, Drinks with the Side of Gossip.
Welcome back to Drinks with the Side of Gossip. I'm Miss Lee Lovely.
And I'm George Odom. Thank you for listening and watching, if you're watching us on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I post clips on TikTok too. We've been getting really good response on TikTok.
I've seen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're watching us, thank you. And thank you for hanging out with us during the commercial break, because on the video show, we stay on and we talk shit during the commercials.
Yes, we do.
But let's take these shots really quick. Let's take these cummy shots.
Our cummy shots.
Our cummy shots.
Surprisingly, very tasty.
They actually were.
Yes,
this cup is so sticky, though. It's gross.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
No.
Ready?
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Tap.
That still wasn't bad.
It still wasn't.
Mm-mm.
I really like that.
I was worried that it's going to be, it's been sitting there for a while. It's going to be a little worm.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
It wasn't worm at all.
It wasn't worm. It was delicious.
It was. I'm actually very impressed.
Yeah, I like that one.
With the cummy shots.
They have an horchata one too, and I thought about getting that one, but I was like, all this creamy stuff is probably not going to be good for my stomach.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I don't need to talk about the bubble guts again.
Yeah, that I had yesterday.
Mm-hmm. That's all they need to know.
At the no toilet paper work.
Thrice.
I know, I can't believe I said
Moving on.
But back to Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. What were you talking about before we went to commercial? Oh, so we're done with Thanksgiving. Okay. So I was driving home from work this morning. Mm-hmm. And the drivers, I don't think it's just here. I feel like it's drivers everywhere are becoming such assholes.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I had some man, like, okay, I was at a red light. The light barely is changing to green. I mean, it's still more red than green.
And you're getting honked at?
And he's laying on the horn.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Right?
Give me a second to react and take my foot off the the brake.
Mm-mm. So tell me, what, as far as road rage, whatever, what would set you off?
Oh, listen, I have the worst road rage.
Oh, I do too, but
I have hideous road rage.
Mine is if I am driving and I am going how fast I'm supposed to be going, whether it's 50, 60, whatever, and you see me coming and you go ahead and turn inside my lane and I have to push on my brake, oh, I'm laying on that horn till you get out of my lane. Oh, we're fixing a box.
Oh my God.
If you decide to have attitude and you want to pull over, I'm pulling over with you. Because that is the worst thing you could ever do to me.
If you do that to me, I'm not taking my foot off the gas.
Right.
So if you do not catch up, I'm going to run right through you.
That drives me insane.
It makes me crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why would you do that? And then expect me to slow down.
Right.
No, perdone-moi, escúchame.
Right.
Escúchame. No, gracias, estapo la caro.
That means... Excuse me.
It drives me up the wall.
Yeah.
It does.
That is the worst. Because some people are like, oh, they didn't use their signal light. What? Not me. You pull in front of me when I am going as fast as I'm supposed to, because I will, and I will go over. I'm one of those. I'm gotta get. Come on, let's go, let's go.
You have a very heavy foot.
Yes. So I mean, I'm always 5, 10, 15. Over what I'm supposed to. But if you want to turn, and I've got to push on that brake, oh, it's on. It's on.
One thing that really bothers me is that if you're going to get in front of me, I have no problem if you're going to get in front of me, because I admit I tend to drive like an old woman. And so I'm usually either right at the speed limit or just under it.
Are you one of those? So when you get on the highway, you don't go. So the speed limit is 75, right? In most of the highways,
right?
So you're not going 79 at least?
Yeah.
80?
I'm going 78, 79.
Okay.
But
in town type things?
In town.
If it's 40, you're going 40.
If it's like on the loop, it's what, 60, 65? I'm going 65.
Oh my God. See, you
and so if you're going to get
you better make sure that you stay in the right lane.
I do. Oh, see,
okay.
Either the right lane or the middle lane, because on the south part there's a lot of people merging on.
Yes.
So I try to stay out of their way and stay in the middle lane, but I don't ever get in the left lane. I know my place because I don't drive fast, so I don't ever get in the left lane. But if you get in front of me, be going faster than me, because I will honk at you.
Yes. Oh yeah. You better push on that gas and make sure I don't push on my brake, because we're gonna have an issue.
I will pull up next to you and cuss you out. There
was one time that happened to me, and I was coming up one of the main streets, and I'm going my 40. Well, it was 40, but I was going about my 45.
She's going about 60.
And a car pulled out in front, and the major streets in between 19th and 34th. They came out at about like 21st Street or something, right when I was going through, the intersection at 19th. And I had to put on my brake. If I didn't lay on my horn from the time they pulled out all the way to 34th Street till they turned off, the whole time.
Listen, I will lay on that horn until the damn thing falls off.
And they sped up, of course. After I braked, of course, I had to slow down to them. But they, of course, sped up. Oh, I sped up with them to make sure that they could still continue to hear my horn, because I did not lay off that bastard until we hit the next light.
I have terrible road rage.
And they went ahead and turned. I was like, yeah, you glad I'm not going in that direction.
Do not play with me.
Yeah.
I'm not one to play. I have bad anxiety anyway, and so when you play, it will send me over the edge.
Yeah.
And I will ruin everyone's life.
And I'm so bad. I try my hardest not to, because I don't know if I should be driving much longer, because the road rage just gets worse. Like people that don't use signal light, and I've got to stop and like, nice signal light, you fuck, I'm just cussing, and I'm just.
That is another thing that drives me bananas. Use your dang signal light. That's what it's there for.
Or when you're on the loop or whatever, and people are coming on, or you're coming on, and people don't merge over, knowing that they can, drives me insane.
Okay, so
can't do it.
You've lived in the big city before.
Oh yeah.
I've lived in the big city before. We now live in a smaller town, and people will not move over for you to merge. And it drives me crazy, but it doesn't really affect me, because I learned when I lived in San Antonio, if people do not make space for you, make space for yourself. Because one of the very first times I drove in San Antonio, I was trying to merge onto 1604, which is basically like the loop. And I was trying to merge, and it was like morning traffic. Nobody would let me on. So I rode the shoulder from when I got on until the next exit, when I could exit again. because nobody would let me on.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my friend about it, and she was like, you have to not let people do that to you.
Yeah.
If they value their car, they will make room for you.
And it's crazy because when I moved to Dallas, I fit right in because the flow of the traffic, it doesn't matter if it says 65. If everybody's going 85, you're going 85. You've got to keep up. And I just fit right in. I could do it. I loved it.
I would go the speed limit.
Oh, see, you would be that one.
I would go the speed limit because I'm a rule follower. I'm not a rule breaker.
Are you really?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I'm a rule follower, and people who do stuff like that is why cars spin out on.
So what you trying to say? What you trying to say?
You'll spin out if you're not careful.
Oh, okay.
And if I bump you hard enough.
Have you ever raced?
Have you seen my car? Have you seen my car?
Oh, goodness.
She's 13 years old.
I have no business. I really don't. I have no business.
You drive an SUV. How do you race?
But, I mean, my other cars, especially when I got my Dodge. Now. I am not going to be in my SRT Dodge and another car pulls up next to me. You know, another RT or another whatever. And they look over. That's a sign. Oh, we fixing to race. Oh, we're racing. Car full of the whole fam. Oh, we're racing.
She's killing everybody. She's going to be one of those that you see on the news. Tonight we have breaking news.
Oh my gosh, don't say
family
that.
Of 8 was
just letting you know,
died.
I don't have the Dodge now. I'm more in a family SUV that, doesn't have the horsepower and the whatever, but I still will get mad.
And on that note, we're going to take a really quick break. Stay with us. You're listening to and you're watching Drinks at the Side of Gossip. Welcome back to Drinks at the Side of Gossip. I'm George Odom.
I'm Miss Lee Lovely.
And, okay, so do you carry cash still?
Very, very rare.
I don't carry cash, mostly because I do all of my transactions, not cash. But, sometimes I will take cash out if I go to, Walmart or the grocery store or something. Because I buy my lottery tickets. Because I'm eventually going to win the Mega Millions and or the Powerball.
Yes.
Hopefully, and the Powerball.
That's right.
But or is fine, too.
Yeah, either one.
And so I'm eventually going to win.
I'm happy with a $20 scratch off.
And, so I will get a 20 every once in a while, but it's rare. I don't like to carry cash.
And that's the same for me.
And
I don't.
I just notice how often I see people carrying cash and not just carrying cash. There's people who still have checkbooks.
I haven't seen a checkbook in such a long time. I haven't seen a check. And my mom switched off from her checkbook a long time ago. So she does all of her stuff, She's up with the Joneses. She does the apps and all that stuff.
Listen, if I am at the grocery store or at Walmart and you bust out a checkbook, we're fighting. We're fighting.
You leave those little old ladies alone.
Because first of all,
they know.
Ma'am, my good lady, the machine prints it for you at Walmart, doesn't it? Or do they even take checks anymore? I remember.
You know what? I don't know if they take checks, but I know the last time, at least when I saw one done, all you had to do was sign it.
Yeah.
Because it
prints it. You put it in that little thing and it's like. And it's ready and it just needs your signature.
Yeah.
So if I see some 688-year-old fossil bust out with her Precious Moments checkbook.
You better leave her and her Precious Moments checkbook alone. Did you ever order, now that you say that, the checks that you can get, on the Sunday ads?
Yes.
Where it had and then it had the one back part where you can order these different kind of checks.
I did.
I did too.
I had Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, you would.
Star Trek The Next Generation, Captain Picard checks.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I did. That was, you know what? I haven't gotten checks from a bank account in probably 20 years.
Yeah, it's been about that long.
Because I don't use them for anything.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that there's people that still
I know.
use cash for stuff.
I don't even think there's those machines anymore. I'm not sure. I can't say that you would run it through. That it would print it
like
for
at
you.
Walmart?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't.
But yeah, I used to order them.
Mm-hmm.
Mine would be football or sports.
For a while, I was ordering Texas Tech
Mm-hmm.
ones, and then they came out with the Star Trek: The Next Generation line,
Mm-hmm.
and it was either the Enterprise, and actually, I think it had like the Enterprise and Captain Picard, and then like everybody from the main cast, or I don't remember what the third one, but it was like, because they came like in a series, and so I remember getting those. And do you remember, I felt so bougie getting it with the duplicate.
Oh my yes. Yes.
I felt like Colonel Sanders with that duplicate. Like,
really?
Like I am a millionaire because I have no business. Mm-hmm. I had no business having it.
Yeah.
I didn't have a nickel to my name. But for some reason, I'm like, you know what? I need the duplicate.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I had the duplicate too. But mine were always sport. I never got the girly stuff or so. It was always either
You've never been girly.
I never have.
You never have.
You know, the only time that I probably was back in the day, like
when you were getting knocked out.
In school. No, well, even further than that, you big goof. When Lisa Frank and all that stuff came. Okay, that's when I had all that neon colored girly stuff. I loved all of that. But that's probably about it.
I always wanted Lisa Frank, but I never got it.
Lisa Frank.
You
didn't have a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper?
No,
Hello.
I didn't.
Who had one? What was that around? 90?
I don't want
88?
to say. Why are you saying numbers?
89, 90?
You're saying numbers.
I mean, you were older than me.
Perdón?
It was around that time, right?
I don't know. I'm not.
You know.
I'm not saying anything.
No, you know.
I'm not
we
saying
had class
anything.
together.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Not if you're saying those numbers.
Not those.
Not those numbers.
Anyway, Lisa Frank.
I was in kindergarten on 9/11.
Oh my gosh.
So
really?
I don't know
You're
where
put yourself that young.
I don't know where you were. But on 9/11 I was in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. Even I don't believe that.
Mm-mm.
Even I don't believe that. I was working at Walmart.
Not by the looks of you, sir.
Oh my gosh.
We've put in the years. Let's not fake. Let's not fake this funk.
Do you know on 9/11 I had gone to work and I don't know if you remember back in the day, Walmart used to have like TVs when you would go in and they showed like ads. It was pretty much ads, and sometimes it'd be like Fox News or something stupid. The day that happened, they switched the TVs over to like ABC News or something like that. Yeah. And I remember leaving because Evie was home for some reason. I don't remember what she was doing home, but she was home and should have been at school. And of course, she wasn't. This is a theme through Evie's life,
right?
But she should have been at school that day because it was a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday, so she should have been at school. And so I went home to go and be, so she wouldn't be by herself. I remember when that second plane hit, being so freaked out that we were under attack.
Yeah.
I literally was outside looking up at the sky, like, is there going to be like paratroopers or like,
Yes, and that is so crazy because at that time I was the front end manager at the store that I worked at. And it was just your normal morning, and we weren't busy at all. We were just kind of, checking out a few people, whoever came in. And the manager came in, and she brought the little TV that we had in our break room, and she put it on the counter there at the front end of the store. and she plugged it in, and she goes, "Oh, we're under attack," and she turns it on, and it's like we stop and we're watching this, and the first plane, of course, had hit, freaked us all out, but it's like a dead silence. We're just watching the TV. Customers, we're just all surrounded. This little bitty old TV like this, and we're watching it. And then the second plane, that whole time we were there, no customers cared about checking out. Everybody was so quiet.
Standing still.
And
the whole place came to a standstill.
And when that second plane hit, there was about it felt like 20, 30 people had gathered to watch this little TV. And you just heard it like,
Everybody.
And then it was like another quick silence, and it's like people started to panic. It was insane. And we went outside. We're like, we are under attack. I will never, ever forget that day, because about an hour after that, everybody, it felt like everybody in town came to the store and were getting everything off the shelves.
See, and
the water, the canned food, like everything.
I left before the second plane hit.
Really?
Because my sister was home by herself. And so I talked to my boss, and I'm like, my little sister's at home by herself. Is it all right if I go home? He was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And of course, we didn't think that there would be a second plane.
Right.
So he was like, yeah, I'm sure if we would have known, he wouldn't have let me, because I'm sure it went crazy after that. But he was like, no, yeah, go be with your sister.
Yes. And she, our manager too, after it kind of started to die down, and we literally ran out of water on ourselves like within 30 minutes. It was crazy.
Water and toilet paper always seems to be the things people always run after.
She had told it, if any of y'all are feeling, y'all need to go home and be with your families, y'all go. Y'all can be. And I did. I took off. I remember taking off for a little bit and going home. And Mom was there, and it was just crazy. I will never forget that day.
I remember Evie and I had all 3 TVs in our house on. One we had on ABC News, and Peter Jennings was still alive and back then, and Peter Jennings had just come on, because at the time it was like Charles Gibson and Diane Sawyer, because it was Good Morning America time.
Yes.
And then so we put one on Good Morning America, then we put one like on NBC News, like Matt Lauer and Katie Couric or something like that, and then we put one on Univision, so like we were getting all of it, and I remember when the second plane hit, we were like, we're under attack.
Yeah.
Because the first plane, if you were not there, the first plane was like, maybe it was an accident somehow.
Yes.
The news was covering it like that too. And so I don't think anybody was thinking an attack or anything like that. It just seemed like, where did this random plane come from? And how did because there was
missed coordinates or something?
Because it was like there's 2 airports in New York, and so they're like, how did this? And it was at the time it was like a propeller plane, and then it got to be like the plane just kept getting bigger and bigger with the reports.
Yes.
And then that second plane hit, and then like that was where like everything changed.
Yes, it was crazy, and it was like panic when that second plane hit. But then when the tower came down, it became silent again. It's like it was unbelievable what people were seeing. There was no way that, the Twin Towers were one of the, seven wonders
of the modern world. Yeah.
Yes, and it just came down, and there was another silence. Like, this is not happening.
And I remember when the first tower fell, which I think the first one to fall was the second one to get hit.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, it's gonna look so weird with just that one tower.
Yes.
Like nobody expected the first tower to fall.
Yes, right.
Much less the second tower. I think when the first tower fell, nobody really even noticed it, because it was like in just like a cloud.
Yes.
So everybody was like, oh, it's on fire, it's on fire. And they're like, no, it's gone.
Yes.
It's gone. And I remember thinking, it's going to look so weird with just one tower there. And then minutes later, the other tower was gone too.
And it was like people were just, that's when the tears came and people were just, and then to think of it too, that was such a image, even in the movies that directors were sure to get, you know, when they were scanning, you know, New York to get those Twin Towers, you know.
Every TV show based in New York
so many
had the
movies,
Twin Towers.
And for them to be gone, it's like, God, it's crazy.
Like Friends. It was in almost every cut scene of Friends that you would see the Twin Towers. And I mean, there were so many. NYPD Blue. Do you remember NYPD Blue?
Oh my gosh.
The Twin Towers were in the background all the time. Anytime there was any show about New York, there was always a shot of the Twin Towers. And then the Pentagon got hit.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my gosh,
and
what
then,
is going on?
You know, the plane that almost got there in Fort, oh my gosh.
In Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania.
Didn't quite get the marker
like
or whatever. And you're like, we
supposedly was headed to the White House.
Yes. But it's like, we are seriously under attack.
And you know, the thing I thought was so interesting about that plane was like, you know, who was president at the time? George Bush. I actually liked George Bush as a president. You know, I mean, we don't see eye to eye in a lot of policies of his, but I thought he was like a fair-minded person compared to the politics nowadays. George Bush was very mild, so I never held any ill will against him or anything like that. But I was like, I would have loved to have seen this plane go towards the White House, because then you would see like what kind of underground missiles they have, you know, and I'm like that
almost like in the movies. All of a sudden the ground opens up and it's like
you know, exactly, because you know, you always wonder what kind of security is at the White House for stuff like that, you know.
And all that had already happened, and when they, you know, see this other plane going off the grid or whatever, headed that way, it's like, okay.
And Bush wasn't in Florida, I mean, in Washington that day. He was in Florida.
Yes.
But, because I remember seeing him at the school when they told him when he was at that school.
And can you imagine being that person, but like, this is the day I pushed that button, and it's like I said, the ground just opens and these missiles.
Yeah, you know, that's the only reason, like, not for any other, like, you know, mean reasons. Other than I would have loved to have seen, like, what kind of, you know, things would have popped out of the ground. Lasers would have come out of the top of the White House. And, like, you know, just like stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm just glad it didn't happen, because I mean, it was just such a traumatic day. And then you find out, like you said, that plane that, you know, who knows where they, like I said, supposedly going to the White House. Yeah. But, you know, those heroes on there took it down, fought those terrorists and took it down.
That was the one where that man said, let's roll.
And so, you know, it's just like, who knows how many lives they saved that day from that. So, I don't know. What a heavy turn this show took.
It sure did. Oh my gosh. But it I know it still weighs heavy a lot with a lot of people, so I'm sure they still conversate about, because I can tell, I mean, I just did. I can tell you that what exactly I will never
forget. It's one of those, if you were alive when it happened, you will never forget. Because to this day, and it's been 23 years, I remember exactly what I was doing, and how me and Evie, and I wish she was here to tell us about it, we were running back and forth to all the TVs, because every TV station had, like, we're covering like a different angle and stuff. So it's like, oh, come here. They're over here, and oh no, come here, look what Univision has on it, and oh, look over here. And so we were running back and forth to all the TVs in the house, and
it was just so emotional. And then after it was done and all this stuff happened, all the support America got with everybody wanting, you know, the men wanting to enlist and step up and, you know, protect it was just so, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain
when they played the Star Spangled Banner at Buckingham Palace, bro, I cried.
I know.
I
want to get teary-eyed,
when they
Yes.
played the Star Spangled Banner.
Mhm.
I thought that was so cool. And you know,
Yeah.
of course, the British people, you know, we had some issues with them
Yeah.
a while back, you
Uh-huh.
know. But since then, you know, we have been super tight.
Yes.
Bad things happen to them and we're there.
Yeah.
Bad things happen to us and they're there. And so I thought that was such a cool moment
Yeah.
that they did that, you know. And
it was just such an emotional time,
It
though, to
was.
see stuff happen on our soil.
yeah,
And,
it's something that we're not accustomed to.
yeah.
You know,
You know.
other places, you know, it happens like in the Middle East and
Yes.
in parts of Europe.
Yeah.
It was a big thing in the 90s that, you know, like in Ireland and things like that, there was a lot of terrorist attacks and things
Yes.
like that.
Not that that was ever okay.
South
But it happened
America,
so,
Latin America, you know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
big. It was not a thing here. And
Not
for
here.
it to happen on our soil, I think it shook
Yeah.
everybody because it's the only time that I can remember that everybody was super proud to be American.
Yes. Super united. Super
yeah.
ready to protect, whether you were white, black, it didn't matter.
It did not matter.
They were ready to.
We defended each other
Yes.
against everything.
Yes. And we were not going to go down,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But you know what? That's such a heavy.
It is.
show
Oh my
took such
gosh.
a dark,
I know.
dark turn. But we're gonna take a really quick break. We've got Mom Power
Yes.
coming up, and we've got some good questions for Mom Power. Evie's gonna join us for Mom Power,
Yes.
and she's also gonna join us for listener emails.
Yes.
So y'all stay with us, and you're listening to and you're watching Drinks with the Side of Gossip.
Welcome back to Drinks with a Side of Gossip. I'm Miss Lee Lovely.
And I'm George Odom, and we are back to wrap up the show.
Yes.
Before we go, though, we've got shots to take. We can't leave without finishing our shots.
We can't leave them.
This one was really good.
We ain't no quitters.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
This one was really good. It
actually was.
Eggnog.
Yes. Buzzballs shot out,
Mm-hmm.
I must say. The eggnog's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. The
So-
cummy shots.
The Cummy Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Carnival.
And they're lit up. If you're watching on video,
Yes.
prepare your eyes for
I know.
the sensation of lights.
I know, because my best friend went on a cruise without me,
Mm-hmm.
but did bring me back a Carnival
Mm-hmm.
shot glass.
It lights up.
Yes.
Ready? Pa arriba, pa abajo, pa centro, pa arriba. Ooh, it's reaching its limit because they're getting warm.
Yes, it is getting. Thank goodness we
Thank
finished
goodness we're
this.
done.
because-
We're done.
Mhm.
I have a really quick story. I was talking to my cousin Samantha just now,
Yes.
and I sent her a little video earlier, and she was like, "Thanks for the shout out. Were y'all talking about me before you you sent that?" And I said, "No, but I actually had a story about your husband." So her husband drives a pickup, a big pickup.
Mhm.
It's like a Dodge,
Mhm.
and it's like raised up
Gotcha.
like 4 or 5 feet.
Gotcha.
It has no side step or rail.
Oh, so it's one of those
So
run and jump.
you know, you would think so, right?
Uh-huh.
But listen, I'm old
Very,
and I'm big.
very.
So you guys are about to see my pants. I was hoping to go through this episode without showing my pants.
You've got to show the pants.
But I am going to show you how I was trying to get into this truck.
This is
because-
sight.
We were, I don't remember where we were at, but I was so drunk.
Oh my gosh.
And trying to get into a truck that's lifted 8.5 feet off the ground
Mhm.
with no rail or side step to help you. So,
Did you shimmy?
oh no.
Did you like lean over?
Oh,
into
oh
it?
no. Oh
Okay.
no. So, okay. So, don't make fun of my pants, y'all. So, I am trying to get into this truck, and I am like,
Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I'm like climbing, trying to climb into this truck. And when I finally get in, I'm on the floor in the back.
My gosh.
Crawling across the back of this truck.
Why wasn't I there?
Trying to climb, and then like I'm like, okay, so then I'm on the floor, and then I'm trying to like climb up to get into the seat. So I'm just like,
oh, see, you big back bitch.
just trying to get into the seat.
Oh
And I'm like, okay, I got it.
Did you piss yourself?
No, but I'm like, okay, I got it. I got it.
That would have been the end.
Okay, I got it.
Oh my
I got
gosh.
it. And I'm like, okay. I made it.
Did you put your seatbelt on?
I did. And then he's like, I have the side step, but I haven't put them in yet.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, don't ever bring this freaking truck to my house again. That's because it was pulled up next to the curb. And even against the curb, I could not get into this truck. I said, don't ever bring this truck here again, because you see the process
Right.
that was to get into
You were
this
about
thing.
one muscle cramp away from having to call the EMS.
Listen, if I could have like torn an ACL
Yeah.
or like dislocated my Vitruvius,
Did you need a defibrillator
I
by the time you got in there? Did you need mouth strap? CPR.
I needed ass to mouth is what I needed. It was so hard to get in there. And did anybody offer me a
I
hand?
bet you nobody. Were they recording? Do y'all have a video?
There was no recording.
Oh, see.
They're not that smart.
Oh.
But it
Man.
was such an ordeal. And I remember having to get in and out of this thing several times. And I'm just like, don't ever bring this truck here ever again, because I can't do it. I'm like, bring a sensible vehicle that I can get into.
You were old and fragile.
I'm old and big. And you can't put me in like a raised up vehicle like that.
Were you sore the next morning?
Oh my God.
Did you have to use muscles you've never...
We talked about last week
My gosh.
some football player's wife who had her pelvic floor demolished by her husband.
Wow.
I had my pelvic floor demolished trying to climb in and out of this truck.
So it wasn't a good... it wasn't a good...
No. Not in the way I want it to happen.
Were those sirens in the
That
background?
was sirens in the background.
We're in the hood, people. Happens all the time. I wonder what happened now.
This is what it was like when I tried to get in there. I was sweating. My armpits were wet. My underboob was sweating. My undercarriage was damp. My knees were dirty from crawling in the back of this truck. And I'm like, I don't know why I bothered to try to look presentable if I'm going to end up looking like I just, I don't know, had sex with a farmer.
Oh my God.
It was
that
bad.
harsh,
It was that bad.
I wish I could have had that on video.
She has an SUV, so it's easy to get in and out of her SUV. And for some reason, they felt like, let's take this truck that
This
our
monster truck?
900-pound cousin is not going to be able to get into with his stumpy legs.
And his big head. And his big head. Did your head go first?
It did.
It did an offset.
It was like reverse birth. It was reverse birth because I was trying to get in.
And that's because I
I'm-
want a truck like that. I do.
Get the side steps.
What?
And have them installed. Don't be like, James.
I want the kind though that you don't. I want the kind that come down. that you don't see. You know what I mean?
Like Evie's.
Yeah.
In
want
Evie's
that.
vehicle,
Yeah.
they like you open the door and it comes out.
Yeah.
Real
That's all.
rich.
Real rich.
But that's gonna do it for us this week.
Man, that was quick.
It really went by fast.
It really did.
It's almost like we used old segments to
Oh my
But
goodness.
that's going to do it for us this week. If you want to email us, drinkswiththesideofgossip@gmail.com
Yes.
is how you can get a hold of us. Follow us on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at Drinks with the Side of Gossip, and on TikTok and Snapchat at DWASOG Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Lee,
Yes.
get us out of here.
Get us out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you want me to do? Can we cheers?
Fucking say something is what I meant.
Oh, I was going to say, can we cheers? Actually, I wanted to cheers out and chug the rest of our beers, but I mean...
Are we chugging our beers?
Yes.
Is that how we're going
But
out?
I mean, I don't know if it's fair. I just have...
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, you have quite a bit there, sir. 'Cause-
So, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I say we should.
You
I
ruined your
say
big
we
moment.
should. No, I say we should.
Oh, okay.
Go out
Okay.
like the gangster.
Let's do it.
You were back in the day.
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Okay, here we go.
You've been listening to Drinks with the Side of Gossip.
Thanks for joining us this
Yes.
week. We will see you again on Friday for a new episode of Drinks with the Side of Gossip, the weekend edition.
Is it the weekend edition?
It is the weekend edition.
And with that, look at you. Look at you.
We're done.
We're done. We love y'all.